Alright guys, so this is tutorial number 47 I guess, and in this tutorial what I was gonna do is I was just gonna go over virtual functions and abstract classes and all this stuff, but I just got reminded that I need to teach you something about functions, right? So I'm just gonna teach that right now, and that is called function templates. Now you might have just read the title of the video, but here it is, right? So let's begin with it. Now suppose you had let's say a comma b, and let's just assign them some values here only. All right, so let it be 10 and let it be 34, right? Now suppose you have to make a function to add these two values, right? Now what you can just do is made a function and add, and in this you could pass parameters like int a comma int b, and now let's just have int c equals a plus b, and we'll just return c. Alright, so now you could just pass in the values to that function and just pass in a comma b, and let's just print this out. Alright, so now I have a function that adds up two integer values and provides me the sum. Suppose I had two other numbers that were double. Now double is just a number with a decimal point, alright? So it would be something like 10.43 and 34.35, right? So suppose you add these two numbers. Now these are not integers, right? So you can't pass them in this function. So we already know what to do in this. We can use function overloading with a double parameter, and then just make up that function same as this one. But suppose you had two strings then, or you had two float numbers, or you had two characters, or whatever it is. Now you cannot make 10 different functions for 10 different data types, alright, because it will just be a whole lot of code and it will just be messy, alright. So instead what you can do is you can use something like function template. Now to build a function template, what you need to do is just write word template and then put those two angular brackets, and inside these brackets you write class, and you can name this anything. Alright, so I'll just name this class Abhi, and let's just let it be one only. Right, now let me just copy this and paste it here. Then I'll tell you what it does. Alright, so replace all your data types with this one. And now if I pass in a double, what it will do is it will make it sum. Someone not declared in this scope. Alright, it was add. Alright, so let's just build on this and hopefully it will run correctly. So see here, it told 44.78. Alright, so that's indeed correct because 34.35 and 10.4 is 44.78, whatever it is. Now what this thing did here is whenever you pass in an integer in here, let's say you pass in an integer like before, so let's just remove the double point decimal point values, and now if you build in this, it will work just fine, right? So it says 44 because 34 plus 10 is indeed 44. Now what it did here is whenever you define a template, it creates a custom data type. Alright, so you can imagine this as a as a custom data type, and you can put here anything like GOT You can name it goat, you can name it anything you like, right? Now what it will do is, when you name it something and you put in here, uh, everywhere you need the data type. Now if I pass in here, if I pass an integer here, what it's gonna do is replace all these abhi with integer, right? So it's literally typing out here int and int here. So it's literally whatever the data type you are passing in, it's literally uh, exchanging these with the data type that is required, right? So if you pass in a different data type, you don't have to worry, because it will replace that data type with whatever data type you are passing in here, and it will work just fine. So how cool is that? Because you don't have to overload a function 10 times, and you don't have to write different code for different data types. You can just define a general data type here, and you can just use that, and it will be a whole lot easier. Now what if you wanted to pass an integer and a double? Now you can do that by defining different data types. So let's just define one more, a b, and let's just define it as uh, I don't know where the heck it came from, and let's just name this struct. Alright. Now if I pass in an integer a, and let's say this one is double b, if I pass in that, pay attention what happens. Expected. Alright, forgot semicolon. Right now it should work just fine. It says 44, but hey, 34 plus 10 is 44. But if I pass in an integer type 34.34, it still says 44. Now why is that? Because see here, this one is a v and this one is a v and this one is struct. Alright, so now when I pass in an integer as the first one, it replaces this abhi with integer, and also this one with integer, right? Because both of these are abhi. Alright, now indeed we passed in a double and it should return 44.34, but it returned only 44 because the return type was int, because the first value we passed in was a integer. So the abhi keyword here got replaced by an integer. Now if I just switch over the values, so I'll just pass b first and then the a. Now it will return the result in a decimal point. Alright, so it's 44.34 because first we passed in a double here, so it replaced this abhi with double and this stuck with an integer, right? So I think that is all I could say. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just build a template with predefined data type and you just got replaced, it just gets replaced, right? And you should always put here a data type that you pass in yourself here, right? Because if I put here a third data type, then it wouldn't know what to switch over, because it switches over with the help of the values you pass in. All right, so this one and one of them here, they should be same, so this one could be decided. Alright, so I think this was it for this tutorial, guys. See you guys in the next tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you guys for watching.